Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Neon Giants, the Ascent, which releases at the end of July. Now, I've been playing it for about an hour now, and I can honestly say it's a pretty cool shooter set in a cyberpunk sci-fi setting. First things first, I'm just going to show you what it's like with the VSync off, so you can get an idea of how it's running on the RTX 3090 at 4K maximum settings. Here are all the options, and I have got ray tracing enabled, but DLSS is disabled. Obviously I can do this with the RTX 3090. So I'm going to start a new game. As I said, I've already played about an hour, and I've got into the sort of tutorial and first sort of mission, and it's a pretty spectacular opening. So we'll start a new game and see where it takes us. But so far I've been very impressed with the visuals, especially. Gameplay is quite tight as well, reminds me a bit of Ruiner. Nice. So obviously you get to choose your character at the beginning, which is cool. We can go over with my usual female type. First thing you want to check is the pigment, because that does change the look of the character quite dramatically. So I'm just going to go with a normal Caucasian looking character, and then I'll just set one of the face types. Again, you're not always going to be looking so closely at this sort of detail, but you can, if you wish, in the menu. Get rid of that face ink and just keep the arm ink, body ink the same. Looks quite cool. Just go through those options. There you go. And you can just do your style, colors. Style. Not a lot of options, but really you're not going to be spending that much time messing around with these. As you'll see very soon once you start picking up headgear and stuff like that. So we just keep it dark looking. You can always randomize your selection. Right, let's go with her. She's cool.
Work order 274B. WMP system displaying erratic behavior. Causal origin traced to waste management. Disposal SI. In maintenance subsector 41A. Tasks. Low Locate WMD control room. Interface with WMD SI. Diagnose cause of error. Conduct any repairs needed. End work order.
So as you can see here, it's now struggling with ray tracing enabled without DLSS.
I want this fixed. Get it done before end of cycle and I'll throw in a juicy bonus.
I mean, for this type of game, actually having 30 frames per second is quite playable if you want all the effects on. Let's just quickly see what happens if I change the DLSS and put it on quality, ultra quality. Let's see what happens now. Right, that's gone back up to 90 FPS now, so a huge boost. Can you notice the difference? What you can notice is the amount of detail in this game world. It's a fantastic amount of detail, as you saw from the introduction sequence. And this is kind of like the underbelly.
So, they finally sent backup. Guess the problem must have reached the stack tops, or Boom would have left me here to be scavenged for orcs. I'm Drummer. Oh, you came armed. SI's locked itself into a recursive void loop. Whatever caused it's beyond that door, together with a whole lot of ferals who came out of nowhere. Took a fat bite out of my thigh. Was all I could do to crawl in here and put the room in lockdown. You'll help out, right?
I mean, you can sit here and ask questions, but for the benefit of me already playing this section and the video, I'm not going to go through all those options. Just having a look around. So in combat, you've got an evasion move like that. I think I'm going the wrong way. I should really get back that way and go through the door. I could end up somewhere unsavory, especially as I haven't got any weapons. Well, this is why I'm supposed to activate this device at the end. But I mean, look at the detail here. It's absolutely fantastic. It just looks really grimy and dirty and just full of electronics. So here we get into the combat. As I say, it reminds me so much of Ruiner, which is from Devolver Digital. And yeah, I'm glad to see another game using a similar style. So you pick up your loot along the way, as you'd expect. Yeah, hold B doesn't really... It's not necessary. One touch is enough, but anyway. I'm going to put that V-Sync back on. You've got an idea of how it kind of looks and plays with it off.
Diagnosing. Done. Report. Power readings erratic. Energy fluctuations affecting WMD system. Exact cause unknown. SI offline as protective measure. Current repair protocols invalid. End report.
This is Boone. We're waiting around in feces up here, and you send me reports about erratic energy fluctuations? You have one job. Get it done. I've uploaded the SI access override codes. Don't ping me again until it's done.
Alternate system access code downloaded. Installing. Done. Revising work order attachment. Done. Passed. Replace external interface circuitry. Purge memory banks. Reset defaults. Yes.
I mean, look at that depth there. I mean, it's pretty incredible, this background detail. Really kind of puts you in the atmosphere of this game. They've done a grand job of giving you a sense of scale as well.
Interface circuitry replaced.
For those credits to get the credits, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. So let's just do a little test here quickly. Let's go back to DLSS off now for this little bit here and just see what the difference is in terms of visuals. I've got it on ultra quality. Let's just turn it off. And FPS hit now gone down to 48 FPS. So I've lost about 12 FPS. Well, more, because it went up to 90, didn't it? So, yeah. Just chugging. But this is on ultra settings, everything maxed out, ray tracing enabled.
You want to meet your dead relatives?
There's be a nice weapon here that I can equip. I should have disabled the tutorials. Yeah, the hold to close is kind of annoying. Oh yeah, now I've got this supervisor hat on, which is pretty cool. I can show you that in the menu.
Initiated.
Oh yeah, now she's looking pretty cool. And this is what I said about earlier. You're not really going to be paying much attention to the default looks, because what will happen is you will end up covering that all up with armor and such like anyway. Right, so let's level her up. Let's increase the critical hit rate, and we'll also go with yeah, that should be fine.
Resetting to default. Done. SI ready for reboot.
So yeah, going back to the DLSS, the difference, there's not much in it. This is native 4K now. I mean, for me this is very playable. I don't need to worry about 60 FPS for this type of game. It's not fast paced. And 44 is pretty decent. But obviously this is devoid of any characters. Once you reach the populated areas, I think the frame rate will drop quite considerably.
Fix the problem. Good. Now, just reboot the damn thing and let's call it a day. The SI interface terminals past that hollow door across the room.
Do it. So look at this thing here now. Look at this huge kind of device that's just sat there. Watch what happens when I reboot it.
Done. Boot sequence running. Done. Running diagnostics. Done. Reboot complete. SI operating at full capacity. System report. WMD system operational. Waste disposal fully functional. Report sent.
About time. I
Pretty
know I
amazing
promised you a bonus,
stuff.
but you know how it is. Revenue is below targets, quotas haven't been met, my hands are tied, yada yada, take your pick. Now get back here! There's a lift in East Stack that's acting up. Almost forgot. If you run into a work Shylar kid named Trummer down there, you can tell that slaghead he's on the eternal shit list. Boon out.
So as you can see, it pays to look around, find some other goodies.
Emergency Protocol 2 Delta 80 active, in compliance with the ARCOLOGY General Contingency Registry. Proceed via emergency tunnel bypass.
Okay, let's put the DLSS back on just for the benefit of playing here. Right, let's do that. Put it back on ultra quality. Yeah. There you got that nice 60. Yeah, it's good. They've done a good implementation of it here. Maybe you can tell in the thick of it. It may even look a bit sharper. Whoa, slow down.
Multiple failure reports incoming. 38 local malfunction.
So you got the collateral damage as well, which is cool. Yeah, but the combat feels pretty solid. Very responsive. Feels nice to be able to let rip. So yeah, it's all good in a hood. Whoa. That just takes me back to the other side there for a shortcut. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That's pretty impressive.
Now in default shutdown mode. Suggestion. Interface with data node to obtain full SIGREP and clarification. Closest data node available in the warrants. End suggestion.
So this boss isn't too hard. I suggest using your submachine gun. Beaten. To credits. So you get the augment after you beat the boss. It's kind of like a power slam attack. Oops. Boom. So I'm actually using a controller here to play this. I think this is probably the best way, using a twin stick.
Downloaded a set of instructions available in your codex.
I'm sure people are going to ask, does it have any other controller support? Let's have a look in the settings quickly. Well, suggested is controller, but there you go. You can use a keyboard and mouse as well, if that's what you want to do. Again, I mean, if you think about this whole level, the amount of detail in this one level at the beginning of the game is fantastic. From where we started at the beginning, these kind of massive open rooms, and now you're about to witness something even greater than that.
The Ascent Group went into immediate default after the corporate AI filed for bankruptcy one subcycle ago.
Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to pan out now. A neon giant game. The Ascent. It's actually going to be on Game Pass from day one. I think you'll find it was originally shown at one of the Xbox media briefings. But it's not exclusive to Xbox and PC. So, what's the frame rate going to be like here with all these kind of characters now? And it's just incredible. Not doing too badly.
ARCOLOGY now default mode. Servers. Not be alone.
I mean, if you look at all the dots on the radar, top right of the screen, all the NPCs, it's a lot. There's a little bit stuttering here.
Attention. All CorpSec officers are to report a person to the nearest security post. Do not be alarmed.
Obviously, I'm recording this with a pre-release review build, so hopefully things like the performance will improve over time, or on the day one of release at least. But I mean, it's running pretty well.
ARCOLOGY now default mode. Services will resume shortly. Do not be alarmed.
General welcoming message from Stat Boss Poon. To all indents entering Cluster 13, behave, or I'll have you fucking recycled. That is all.
So you've got this kind of nice verticality as well. It's not just all on one level. So as you see here, going up the stairs, different zones. You could really get lost here, couldn't you? Look around. Going up.
This is the feed with your very own Grateful Abbott. The Ascent Group went into immediate default after the corporate AI filed for bankruptcy one subcycle ago. All attempts to contact the corporate board has failed, and we've yet to receive an official statement. The Ascent Group ARCOLOGY on Veles has shut down, with some claiming it's gone into default mode. If this is true, without AG security, corporate grab teams will already be moving in. All the luck to them. As I always say, one being's ill fortune is another's opportunity. Stay tuned.
To all hammers in Cluster 13, this is Poon. As you've probably noticed, our dear arcology just defaulted. I don't give a feral's ass about the whys and wherefores. Business will go on as usual. That means no panic, no whining, and certainly no slacking off. Business as usual. Understood? Tune out.
So you can now sort of look at these characters in your codex and get a kind of biography. As you can see, lore as well. Which is pretty cool. Standard enemies that we've ferals. I mean, I love everything there is about this game. The aesthetic, the gunplay. It's just, as I said, it's just like a Ruin of 2 as far as I'm concerned. So here you've got all these kind of submissions now you can undertake. Buy new weapons, armor. I mean, let's have a look at one of the armor vendors if I can get around here.
Could just go away.
Nice. Cool. Alright, that's how much I got. Nice jacket, backpack. Not bad, but I mean, you can actually find some of this stuff if you look around. Just gonna skip that. Basically, it was just giving me a weapon to try out. So I've equipped them automatically, those trousers or pants. There's your nice ray trace reflections there. Full effect. Yeah, the game looks pretty, definitely.
Look, when we need a company rally or inspirational calf mugs to hand out, I'll let you know, okay?
Why the hostility, Poon? All I'm saying is that we should stick together in a time of crisis, and that we're here to help in any way we can.
And all I'm saying is that I don't see how you can help right now. The Ascent Group is gone, and the board has gone quieter than a null-spaced Carlin. Maybe you people should start looking to what's next.
The Ascent Group is not just the board, Poon. It's us. All of us. United around an idea. The corporation can only collapse if we allow it.
Whatever. An idea won't feed my indents or provide security when CorpSec gets wise to the fact that their paychecks aren't coming. Now, you'll have to excuse me. My next meeting just arrived.
Fine. We'll talk again later, Poon.
Send their idiots. Oh, look at you. Positively bristling with ambition and a taste for mindless violence. Just what I need. My PA before was pure bullshit. This is a crisis supernova. The Ascent Group has collapsed. Our arcology's gone into default, and we've lost contact with the board. Not that I expect those sleek suits to be able to unfuck this situation in any meaningful way. No one is getting paid, and CorpSec will soon realize that they're risking their necks for exactly 0 Eucreds. We can expect security to implode before the cycle is over. The Ascent Group AGI suddenly went quiet. That's never happened before. So the market went apeshit and forced the Ascent Group into immediate bankruptcy. Now all local SIs are operating independently. Hundreds of optimizer protocols fighting for the safe scrap. Am I painting a bleak enough picture for you? We're mutually dependent on the neighboring clusters for food, energy, and other essentials. It pains me to say this, but it looks like we're gonna have to cooperate our way out of this epic mess. The other stack bosses have agreed to meet. They're a bunch of incompetent hard-noses, so don't get your hopes up. But I don't see any other options, and my imp won't shut up about this being the only way forward. I want you to handle security for the moot. In a crisis like this, you can always expect to see a few witless wonders stepping up to bat. The Turbo Vipers are already trying on a protection racket so stupid, it defies comprehension. Questions? Shoot. All right, enough questions. First, I need you to go to the grinder and scout ahead. Oh, and you'll need to gear up. Won't just be facing deep-stink ferals anymore. Talk to my man Clobber. He'll set you up. Feel free to flatline any slag-headed Turbo Viper just looking at you sideways. Here? Good.
Okay, well, that sets the stage pretty well. So I mean, you know, there's a lot of criticism with Cyberpunk 2077. I think I'm going to mention it here. But does this game out Cyberpunk 2077? I know they're two different style games, but atmosphere.
minimum particle samala grün bit particle nit. Allah sad mit knickte der dusma in instrument med antiflottig örvana. You took it down den ik hörkun down den örvana. Yok der gartuma bixettes nazar nesa. Kikun beta hemma hers kumar för ett mycket flyg minimum itaka du nesai. Yok Allah sad antiflottig ses jos ni mit nun. Fred är fast vagas mit sulke minimum örsul grön kup.
Pretty amazing stuff, huh? Well, I'm going to leave it at that. I think there's a lot to explore here, what to see and do. And hopefully I've given you a good glimpse of what you can expect from The Ascent, which releases at the end of this month, July 29th. Yeah, wait for my review, and so far so good. I mean, visually it just looks fantastic. Crazy. And you get to see your character in action. Okay, I'm Rob Cram. Thanks for watching. This is The Ascent.